muna tayo.
Okay. Guys! Alas 2 na! And it's... PHYSIO time!
At syempre mga bagong informations na naman ang mai-share natin ngayong hapon. So by the way, ako nga pala si Kuya Ken.
Ako si Ate Sa.
Ako si Kuya Joel. Si Kuya Juniel.
Ako si Kuya Dem.
Si Ate She.
Kuya Seki.
Ako naman si Ate Joy. Ate Yona.
At kami ang...
PHYSIOLODI! Kasi alam nyo guys, every week nagkakaroon tayo ng poll sa Facebook para malaman natin kung ano yung susunod na topic na pag-uusapan natin sa segment na ito.
At alam nyo ba mga kaibigan na ang napili natin ay...
The Nervous System!
So mga kaibigan, just sit back and relax kasi magbabalik kami mamaya.
PHYSIOLODI! So magandang araw lang mga kaibigan. So once again, I am Kuya Dem at sasabihin ko sa inyo kung tungkol saan ang nervous system. So the nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, sensory organs, and all of the nerves that connect these organs with the rest of the body. Together, these organs are responsible for the control of the body and communication among its parts. So the brain and the spinal cord form the control center known as the central nervous system, where information is evaluated and decisions made. The sensory nerves and sensory organs of the PNS or peripheral nervous system monitor conditions inside and outside of the body and send this information to the CNS. Efferent nerves in the PNS carry signals from the control center to the muscles, glands, and organs to regulate their functions. So mga kaibigan, that is what nervous system is all about. At narito mga kaibigan kong Lodis to tell more about the nervous system. Mga Lodis!
Hi guys! Once again, I am Ate Joy and I'm here to talk about the neurons. What are the types of it and the parts of the neurons? Alam niyo ba mga kaibigan na ang neurons ay tinatawag ding nerve cells? And it is the basic building blocks of the nervous system. It also communicates within the body by transmitting electrochemical signals. Neurons look quite different from adult cells in the body due to the many lost cellular processes that extend from their central cell body. The cell body is the roughly round part of the neuron that contains the nucleus, mitochondria, and most of the cellular organelles. The small tree-like structures called dendrites extend from the cell body to pick up stimuli from the environment. Other neurons are sensory receptor cells. The long transmitting processes called axons extend from the cell body to send signals onward to other neurons or effector cells in the body. At ngayon naman ay tatalakayin natin ang three types of neurons. We have the afferent neurons, the efferent, and the interneurons. First, we have the afferent neurons, also known as sensory neurons. Afferent neurons transmit sensory signals to the central nervous system from the receptors in the body. Next, we have the efferent neurons, also known as motor neurons. This is transmit signals from the central nervous system to effectors in the body such as muscles and glands. Lastly, the interneurons. Interneurons from complex networks within the central nervous system to integrate the information received from the afferent neurons and to direct the function of the body through efferent neurons. At nalaman na nga natin ang basic unit of the nervous system. To discuss the main parts of the nervous system, narito ang aking mga kaibigang Lodi. Pasok!
So hi guys, good day. So I am your Kuya Juniel and I am here to simply define the three major divisions of the brain. So the first one is the forebrain and it consists of two subdivisions which is the telencephalon and the diencephalon. So it is also the biggest or the largest brain division. So the second one is the midbrain. Midbrain is the area in the brain that connects the forebrain and the hindbrain and it also regulates movements and aids the processing of auditory and visual information. So the last one is the hindbrain. Hindbrain assists in the regulation of autonomic functions, maintaining balance and equilibrium, movement coordination, and the relay of sensory information. So that's it, guys. I hope you like it. Bye!
Salamat kay Juniel. Ako si Kuya Seki at i-discuss ko sa inyo ang the four lobes of the brain. The first one is the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is the portion of the cerebral cortex lying just behind the forehead. It is involved in speaking and muscle movements as well as making plans and judgment. This area is best described as the control center of the brain. And the next one is the parietal lobe. The parietal lobe is the portion of the cerebral cortex lying at the top of the head and toward the rear. This receives sensory input for touch and body position. And the next one is the occipital lobe. The occipital lobe is the portion of the cerebral cortex lying at the back of the head. This area receives information from the visual fields and is associated with vision processing. And last but definitely not the least, the temporal lobe. The temporal lobe is the portion of the cerebral cortex lying roughly above the ears. This includes the auditory areas, each receiving information primarily from the opposite ear. And that's the four lobes of the brain. Pass up!
Hello mga kaibigan! Ako nga pala si Ate Sam. And today, we're going to discuss more about the main parts outside the brain. First, we have cerebrum, cerebellum, cerebral cortex, brainstem consists of pons and medulla. So the first one is cerebrum. What is cerebrum? How do you tell the difference between a quarter and a dime when you reach into your front pocket in search of correct change? The answer to this question is found in your cerebrum. Your cerebrum is the main part of the brain in humans and other vertebrates. Functionally, it obtains information from your surroundings or the body and then sends that information to a specific part of the cerebrum. The cerebrum interprets the knowledge and decides what must happen next. In short, your cerebrum, although approximately the size of a cantaloupe, holds the instruction for everything you do in your daily life. The cerebrum is divided into four regions called lobes that controls senses, thoughts, and movement. The second one, what is cerebellum? Your brain is one of the most complex and powerful organs in your body. It works as the computer mainframe, controlling the activities of all the other systems in the body due to its complexity in the human body. The human brain has developed compartments to specialize in particular functions. Of those compartments, the second largest is known the cerebellum. What are the functions of cerebellum? The cerebellum in general is responsible for controlling motor functions and muscle coordination. This means that the ability to control how we move, walk, talk, and other physical activities will be, in part, done by this portion of the brain. More specifically, the cerebellum will control the aspects of balance, equilibrium, and muscle tone, which are factors that provide for smooth movement and activity. Electrical impulses from the cerebellum stimulates muscles that are responsible for voluntary movement and works in coordination with the motor cortices of the cerebellum for this overall function. And the next one is cerebral cortex. It forms a 1 to 3 millimeter layer that wraps the surface of the brain, somewhat like the bark of a tree wraps around the trunk. And don't you know that cerebral cortex, this is what makes us human. And the last one is brainstem. The brainstem connects the forebrain to the spinal cord. The region is the key for the certain kinds of adaptive behavior. Injections of small amount of excitatory amino acids or alternatively electrical stimulation of this area may result in any of several responses: an aggressive, confrontational response, avoidance or flight response, heightened defensive reactivity, or reduced reactivity as is experienced after a defeat when one is feeling hopeless. We have pons. Pons serves as a kind of relay station because it contains neural fibers that pass signals from one part of the brain to another.
The next one is medulla. Controls heart activity and largely controls breathing, swallowing, and digestion. Also, the place at which nerves from the left side of the body cross over to the right side of the brain. It also contains part of the RAS, helps to keep us alive. So that is the outside part of the brain all about. To tackle more about the nervous system, here are my friends!
Hello mga kalodi! Ako nga pala si Kuya Joel. At ngayon dadako naman tayo sa left and right hemisphere of the brain. Ano nga ba pag sinabi nating left and right hemisphere at ano ang function nito na nakakaapekto sa ating pang-araw-araw na gawain? These two hemispheres, although equal in size, but these two sides are not the same and has different functions. The left side of the brain is responsible for controlling the right side of the body and is the more academic and logical side of the brain, like analytic thought, logic, language, reasoning, science in mathematics, written, number skills, and right hand control. And the right side of the brain is responsible for controlling the left side of the body and is the more artistic and creative side of the brain, like art awareness, creativity, imagination, intuition, insight, holistic thought, music awareness, 3D forms, and left hand control. So ngayon, siguro naman naliwanagan na kayo kung ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng left and right hemisphere.
Hi everyone, I'm your Ate She and I'm here to discuss about the hypothalamus, thalamus, and the corpus callosum. First, let us talk about the corpus callosum. Imagine for a moment that two people who think and behave in a very similar ways yet perceive the world differently from one another. What if they could share their thoughts, then modify them into a single word view based on both perceptions? This may seem weird, but your brain works this way thanks to the corpus callosum, located near the center of the brain. This structure is the largest bundle of nerve fibers that connects the left and the right cerebral hemisphere, much like a bridge. Traffic flows in both directions, but instead of vehicles traveling over the gaps, it is the information. The next one is the thalamus. The thalamus is a dense nucleus that bulges into the third ventricle from each side. The thalamus serves as a central relay station for sensory impulses, ascending from other parts of the nervous system to the cerebral cortex. It receives all sensory impulses except those associated with the sense of smell, and channels them to the appropriate regions of the cortex for interpretation. In addition, all regions of the cerebral cortex communicate with the thalamus by means of descending fibers. The thalamus seems to produce a general awareness of certain sensations, such as pain, touch, and temperature. The last one is the hypothalamus. It regulates behavior related to species survival, such as fighting, feeding, fleeing, and mating. Active in regulating emotions and reaction to stress. It interacts with the limbic system, believes its importance in controlling many bodily functions, plays a role in sleep. The dysfunction and neural losses of hypothalamus causes some cases of narcolepsy. Again, I'm your Ate She and I hope you learned something from me. Thank you!
Additional information about hypothalamus. So this is the one responsible for our vital body functions such as hunger, thirst, body temperature, and hormonal secretion. So kapag nagugutom tayo o di kayo nauuhaw, this is because of hypothalamus. And alam nyo ba guys, na ang pagmamahal ay hindi galing sa puso. This is from the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus secretes one hormone called oxytocin, also called as the love hormone. So it is not right for us to use the term, I love you from the bottom of my heart, but rather, I love you from the bottom of my hypothalamus.
And to keep our ball rolling, mga kasama niyo si Kuya Ken, and we will be discussing about the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, and the basal ganglia. First, let's talk about the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland is about the size of a pea and is situated in a bony hollow just behind the bridge of your nose. It is attached to the base of your brain by a thin stalk. Imagine that. The pituitary gland is often called the master gland because it controls several other hormone glands in your body, including the thyroid and adrenals, the ovaries, and testicles. It secretes hormones from both the front part and the back part of the gland. Hormones are chemicals that carry messages from one cell to another through your bloodstream. And the next one is the pineal gland. Have you ever imagined yourself having your third eye? Pineal gland is once called the third eye. The pineal gland is a small gland located deep in the center of the brain. Named for its pine cone shape, this gland secretes melatonin, which plays a role in the body's internal clock. And the last one is the basal ganglia. For your information guys, the basal ganglia are a group of structures found deep within the cerebral hemispheres. The structures generally included in the basal ganglia are the caudate, putamen, and globus pallidus in the cerebellum, the substantia nigra in the midbrain, and the subthalamic nucleus in the diencephalon. So makita-kita ulit tayo mamaya. Magbabalik si Kuya Ken. Bye!
Hi guys! Once again, I am Ate Yana. And today, isi-share ko sa inyo ang definition and function ng amygdala, hippocampus, and the limbic system. The first one, the amygdala. The amygdala is an almond-shaped section of nervous tissue located in the temporal lobe of the brain. The amygdala is responsible for the perception of emotions such as anger, fear, and sadness, as well as the controlling of aggression. The amygdala helps to store memories of events and emotions so that an individual may be able to recognize similar events in the future. For example, if you have ever been suffered in a dog bite, then the amygdala may help in processing that event, therefore, increase your fear or alertness around the dogs. The size of the amygdala is positively correlated with increased aggression and physical behavior. And the next one is the limbic system. Have you ever been angry? How about sad? And how about happy? All of these are emotions, which are different mental reactions that are expressed by humans. Emotions are present in our daily lives and play a role in how we behave individually and socially. The limbic system is thought to control emotion and other brain functions related to our instincts and memories. The limbic system is located just above the brainstem and below the cortex. The hippocampus itself is highly involved with our memories. The limbic system plays a huge part in our survival roles. It is responsible for our fight or flight responses, wherein this is when a person feels like he is in danger and either needs to fight his way out or run away from the situation. The limbic system also gives us the gut feeling. The limbic system, including the hippocampus, is located in a very protected area of the brain. And for the last one is the hippocampus. The hippocampus plays a very important role in our memories. It attaches memories to the emotions and senses that go with them. For instance, it will take a memory of being happy and calm while in a field and link it with the smell of the flowers. It will associate both the feeling of being happy and the sense of smell to the memory of being in a field. And once the emotions and senses are attached, the hippocampus sends the memory of to be stored. It will actually file the memory in the appropriate part of the cerebral cortex. Here, the memory will be put in long-term storage, where it can be later be retrieved. That's all guys. I hope you learned something from me and have a good day. Bye!
Hey guys! Nandito ulit si Kuya Seki para discuss naman sa inyo ang peripheral nervous system. The peripheral nervous system is the connection between the central nervous system and the rest of the body. The CNS is like the power plant of the nervous system. It creates the signal that controls the function of the body. The PNS is like the wires that go to individual houses. Without those wires, the signal produced by the CNS could not control the body, and the CNS would not be able to receive sensory information from the body either. Thank you guys!
So yun guys, nagbabalik po ulit ngayon si Kuya Joel para naman sabihin sa inyo ang divisions ng peripheral nervous system. At isa na dito ang somatic nervous system. The somatic nervous system is under voluntary control and transmits signals from the brain to end organs such as muscles. The somatic nervous system includes the sensory nervous system and the somatosensory system and consists of sensory nerves and somatic nerves
and many nerves which hold both functions. In the head and neck, cranial nerves carry somatosensory data. There are 12 cranial nerves, 10 of which originate from the brainstem and mainly control the functions of the anatomic structures of the head, with some exceptions. The nuclei of the olfactory nerve and the optic nerve lie in the forebrain and thalamus, respectively, and are thus not considered to be true cranial nerves. One unique cranial nerve is the vagus nerve, which receives sensory information from the organs in the thorax and abdomen. For the rest of the body, spinal nerves are responsible for somatosensory information.
At muli nagbabalik si Kuya Ken para naman i-share sa inyo ang tungkol sa autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system regulates a variety of body processes that take place without conscious effort. The autonomic system is the part of the peripheral nervous system that is responsible, as the name implies, for regulating involuntary body functions such as heartbeat, blood flow, breathing, and digestion. The autonomic nervous system plays an essential role in keeping the body's internal environment in proper balance, a condition called homeostasis. The autonomic nervous system also plays a major part in emotional experience and expression. When you are emotionally excited, kapag kinakabahan or excited tayo, the body shows many changes such as blood pressure and heartbeat increase, mouth is often dry, stomach is butterflies in it, and this and other body actions are controlled by the autonomic nervous system.
Hi mga kaibigan! Nandito ulit ang inyong Ate She para i-discuss ang sympathetic system. Ang sympathetic system ay under ng autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic system is activated during a fight or flight situation in which great mental stress or physical danger is encountered. Neurotransmitters such as norepinephrine and epinephrine are released, which increase heart rate and blood flow in certain areas like muscle, which simultaneously decreasing activities of non-critical functions for survival, like digestion. The system are independent to each other, which allows activation of certain parts of the body while others are remain rested.
Hi guys! Ako nga pala si Ate Sam at nagbabalik para ituro sa inyo kung ano ang parasympathetic nervous system. Primarily using the neurotransmitter acetylcholine as a mediator, the parasympathetic system allows the body to function in a rest and digest state. Consequently, when the parasympathetic system dominates the body, there are increases in salivation and activities in digestion, while heart rate and other sympathetic response decrease. Unlike the sympathetic system, humans have some voluntary controls in the parasympathetic system. The most prominent examples of these controls are urination and defecation.
Ganun pala yun! So yun guys, tulad namin, sana marami rin kayo matutunan sa segment namin ito.
And you know what guys, ang ating brain, ang nervous and sensory systems, as well as cognitive functions, shape our behavior.
And also, it can be said that the brain, nervous and sensory systems, and cognitive functions are interrelated when it comes to our behaviors.
Although each has separate functions, they all work together to develop behavior.
The brain serves as the hub from which the sensory system, nervous system, and cognitive function flow, coordinating a synchronous reaction of neural activity which directs behavior.
At alam nyo guys, any impairment in one or more of the systems creates a lack of function. Diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's are examples of what damaged nerve cells can cause.
And another neurological disease is Huntington's. The loss of nerve cells required for cognitive and motor functions affect the body by causing bodily disfiguration and even impacting how the brain and spinal cord operate.
Yan. Kaya guys, alam nyo, hindi lang dapat physically yung inaalaga natin, pati yung nasa loob yung ating nervous system.
Ay sa true!
Tunay ka dyan.
Yes, in conclusion, behavior is shaped because of an orchestration of the brain and nervous and as well as the sensory systems.
Cognitive function are also part of this orchestration. Independently, these systems form a vital core which organizes and drives the execution of behaviors of the human body. Any interruption or impairment of this system disturb behaviors which can create debilitating condition or for individuals.
Eh guys, after all of this, ano yung mga pulot of the day mo?
Ako, yung pulot of the day ko is yung sobrang nakaka-amaze na hindi pala yung chan at yung mouth natin ang nagsasabi pa gutom or nauuhaw na tayo, kundi yung part ang brain natin na hypothalamus.
Ako naman, yung pulot of the day ko is sa memory. Na halimbawa, kapag nag-aaral tayo, once na nakita natin yung information or yung data, na lalagay natin to sa short-term memory. And then kapag inulit-ulit nating basahin o aralin is napupunta siya sa long-term memory.
Ako guys, in addition sa pulot of the day ni Ate Joy, yung about sa hippocampus natin, yung kahit masira siya, marirecall mo pa din yung mga memories na meron kayo. Yun nga lang, hindi ka nga lang makakapag-create ng another.
And isa pa, guys, ako naman, ang pulot of the day ko naman, hindi lang pala tayo basta tao. Kumbaga, merong parte ng utak natin na nagpa-function para sabihin or para maging isang tao tayo. At yun yung cerebral cortex.
Wait lang, cerebral cortex.
So ako naman yung natutunan ko na hindi lang pala talaga basta yung utak natin ng nagaan sa pagkatuto natin. Kasi bawat parte ng utak natin ay may kanya-kanyang parte na ginagampanan.
Yes!
Doon. At alam nyo guys, yan, scientifically speaking, hindi tayo nagmamahal gamit ang ating puso. Yan, parang kumbaga nabubuhay lang tayo sa concept na yon, pero mas tama, sabi ni Gredam kanina, mas tamang sabihin na, mahal kita sa kaibuturan ng aking hypothalamus.
Tapos yung sa akin naman, for example sa experience ko, pag ako napasok sa school, may sometimes like pinapagawa yung teachers about creativeness, yung sa art, then minsan academics, nalalaman ko kung ano yung mas gumaganang side ng brain ko, kung left ba or right hemisphere.
Paano pag walang brain?
Pero ako naman guys, yung pulot of the day ko ay parang summary na ng mga sinabi niyo na nervous system plays a very crucial role sa ating buhay. Kasi kung wala ang nervous system, we will not be able to live the life that we are enjoying right now.
Yes! Yes!
And that was so let's! So yan, guys, sana supportahan nyo pa ang iba't ibang videos na ilalabas ng legit newsers.
Yes.
Kasi marami pa kaming video na ilalabas for sure yan. Pero bago yan, nagpapasalamat po kami sa lahat po ng nanonood kasi mukhang inaantok na ang audience. Mukhang inaantok na ako. Pero bago po yan, ako po muli, si Kuya Ken.
At ako naman si Ate Sam.
At ako naman si Kuya Joel.
Ako si Kuya Juniel.
And Kuya Dem.
Ate She!
Kuya Seki!
Ako naman si Ate Joy.
And I am Ate Yona.
At syempre, ang grupong nagmamahal sa inyo, kami ang The
PHYSIOLODI!
PHYSIOLODI!